Good morning. My name is Melissa. I would like to thank you all for joining me today. Today, I want to persuade you all to support the No Child Left Behind Act of 2001. School district boundary lines play a pivotal role in shaping students' educational opportunities. Living on one side of a school district boundary rather than another can mean the difference between being able to attend a high achieving resource enriched school or having to attend a low achieving resource deprived school. Shouldn't every child have the right to higher education? Wouldn't you want your sons, daughters, nieces, and nephews, little brothers and sisters to have the same opportunity as children do that live in better neighborhoods who already have the financial means to have higher education or to obtain higher education? Supporting the No Child Left Behind Act is a step in the right direction. The No Child Left Behind Act of 2001 is the most recent iteration of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965. The major federal law authorizing federal spending on programs to support K through 12 schooling. ESEA is the largest source of federal spending on elementary and secondary education. April 2014, Board of Education. Three distinct models for increasing graduation rates were identified. These approaches include supplemental services for at-risk students, i.g. mentoring, tutoring, counseling, and social support services. Number two, different forms of alternative education programs for students who do not do well in regular classrooms settings, i.g. school within a Franklin Business of Law. I was citing, work citing. School career accommodates, other alternative education schools. And third, school-wide restructuring efforts to allow all students the fundamental steps for successful transition into high school. This plan will work because caring for our kids is caring for our future. If we do not educate each and every child, we are limiting the development of the human race. So where will our leaders of tomorrow come from? This brings me to my second point. See yourself in a world where only the last few generations were to be able to bypass all the extensive tests that our youth today are faced with. Do you see a future for these kids without the extra help a community can offer? If you're thinking probably not, then think these will be the people tasked with caring for you when you are old and gray. Wouldn't it be a shame if the majority of them didn't know how to? If we continue with this plan, we can expect a higher school graduation rate and a decrease in the high school to prison rates. According to Mark Warren, the New English Journal of Public Policy, nearly 15 years after the passage of No Child Left Behind, the failures of our educational system with regard to low-income children of color remain profound. Traditional reform efforts have sought improvement solely within the confines of the school system, failing to realize how deeply educational failure is a part of a link to broader structures of poverty and racism. The plan is already in place, ladies and gentlemen, but for it to work, we can't just rely strictly on our government. We must act and volunteer our services to guarantee a brighter future for our youth. The seeds of a new educational justice movement can be found in the rise of community and youth organizing efforts, in the development of teacher activism, and in the recent creation of new alliances in local, state, and national levels, like those combating the school to prison pipeline. As mandated in the law, the funds are authorized for professional development, instructional material, supporting educational programs, and parental involvement promotion. The act has been realized every 5 years since its original enactment, April 11th, 1965, component of President Lyndon B. Johnson's War on Poverty. In 2001, ESA was reauthorized under the No Child Left Behind Act by President George W. Bush. This situation is important because an uneducated child today is an uneducated nation tomorrow. We don't have to lose our kids to poverty and crime when it is easier to spend the money on education than supporting them with tax money to live in prison. Our prisons will continue to overcrowd and our sense of security will begin to greatly decrease. Now, this brings me to my third point. We can all benefit from the No Left Child Act by watching the crime rates decrease, watching the graduation rates increase. We can see a rise in our economy and a growth and development in our youth. If we do not support this cause and just sit and wait for our society to crumble beneath us, because without the education of the youth, there is no future to look forward to. Parents, aunts, uncles, anyone who can find the heart to reach out and help a child, please go and volunteer. Be a big brother or sister. Get involved, tutor, coach, mentor. These are just a few ways to brighten the future of the child in need. And finally, I want to thank you all for allowing me to speak to you regarding our youth and want to remind you again of how important your contributions are. Know that for the well-being of our great country, we must further develop the No Child Left Behind Act in hopes of a brighter tomorrow. So participate in development of our country's youth, your future educators, doctors, developers. Help provide our future with the best and the brightest. Be a great American. Support a cause that benefits all the people of America, the education of our kids.